It's that time of year again. It's March Madness time. And it just so happens to be National Cheerleading Safety Month and National Caffeine Awareness Month. Oh, and don't forget, it's also National Frozen Food Month. Ew. National Noodle Month. National Peanut Month. National... All jokes aside, and most importantly, it's Women's History Month. There are tons of strong and independent women in the Navy. But in this episode, we're going to speak to some of the strongest, toughest, and most dedicated women that are hardly ever haze gray and underway on a warship. Oh, and it just happens to be their birthday month. Coincidence? I think not. I'm your host, MC2 Alexa Trafton, and welcome back to Ears Adrift. So, who am I talking about? The Seabees. Instead of being underway, the Seabees build and fight, often going by the mottos can do or consumus batimus. They then defend and build some more, and they do this all over the world. They are the Navy's fighting construction force. They've had the can-do attitude since 1942, but it wasn't until 1972 that the first female Seabee, constructionman Carmela Jones, cross-rated into the Seabee community as an equipment operator. Then, it wasn't until 22 years later, after the repeal of 10 U.S.C. 6015 by Congress on the 30th of November 1993, that women were able to join and serve in the construction battalions. So, what are construction battalions?
So we have the uniqueness of being able to go in after a hurricane and helping support the local infrastructure.
This is Command Master Chief Helen Daniel, the CMC of NMCB 133.
We also have the ability of going in to a place where there is nothing and completely build up the infrastructure to support any unit that's out there, whether it's be the Marines, the Army, the Air Force. We have the capability of building infrastructures, not just building them, but maintaining them and ensuring that they are useful for the length of time that they're needed.
Master Chief joined right out of high school, and her goal back then was to do 20 years, then retire. She had no idea that she would end up where she is today. So I asked her, who taught her to be so resilient and driven?
I would have to say that would be my mom and my grandmothers. Just the will to always do better, the drive to succeed, and, to what's next in the plan. Okay, you accomplished that, celebrate it, but what's next? How much farther can you go? What else can you do?
I think that we can all agree that our culture and cultures around the world have assigned women gender roles, in that a female should dress feminine, a female should act feminine, a female should do what is considered female work, and so on. So when you hear female construction worker, it seems oxymoronic in a way, because how many times have we seen commercials or television shows that depict construction workers as men? And with Master Chief enlisting in the Navy at such a transitional time for women, those lessons that she learned from her family were extremely important for her to carry forward in her career.
In 1995, there were lots of challenges. 1994 is the first year that they opened up for females to move into the battalions. So in 95, females being in a Naval Mobile Construction Battalion was still relatively new. And so just had to maneuver around and figure out what the right things were that were needed and continue to push with that success.
But she isn't the only one.
17 years ago, it was majority males. All the females did was sit behind a desk.
This is BU1 Belinda Jones. She enlisted in the Seabees in 2003 when the Seabee community was still male dominant. But she overcame the obstacles the best way she knew how.
Some of the struggles, I had to fight for positions. I had to be a stronger female, like, hey, I can do this job as well. And a lot of people start respecting me more and just giving me that opportunity. And today's Navy, it has changed significantly, because females, you see them now and you don't even think for a second that that's a female. because they're doing the same job. They're putting forth the same amount of effort and everything.
So, I can actually attest to this because I was in fact a Seabee. Yeah, that's right. Before I got my conversion to mass communication specialist in 2017, I was a builder in the Seabees for 6 years. I personally joined the Seabee community because I wanted a challenge. I wanted to work for humanitarian aid and actually see my progress building schools, health clinics, water wells, and shelters all with my hands. And because of the women that came before me, I had a decent path to follow. But it was still hard work every day, from deployments to projects to field exercises. None of it was easy.
I think no matter where you go, you're going to have some challenges, whether you're male, female. But the Navy has slowly been transitioning in the right direction for equal opportunity.
You get to see a lot and do a lot with the Seabees. You get out of it exactly what you put into it. You begin to understand that, yes, you're not like the regular fleet, but it's just as rewarding at the end of the day. You have to be flexible to be a Seabee, and you have to be ready for just about anything. But with being ready for anything comes the pride in the work that you do accomplish with the people that you did it with standing right next to you.
I'm proud, and they will be proud too, because I know I've sent things home and I'm like, Mom, look, I did this. And my mom like, wow, you did that? I'm like, yeah, I did that. So it gives you I'm just super proud.
I know personally that I've learned a lot from the strong women that I've met in the Navy and with serving alongside them, like Master Chief Daniel and B1 Jones, and so many more that I credit my success in learning lessons that I needed to achieve my goals. And I intend to pass on what I've learned. We all should. Sharing our experiences with each other is the best way to continue forward and grow. Okay guys, that's it for this episode of Ears Adrift. Keep us on your radar and keep posted for new episodes each month. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast outlets, on our Facebook page, or on our website at www.ah.mil. Thanks again for tuning in from Ears Adrift at All Hands Magazine. I'm your host, MC2, formerly BU3, Alexa Trafton. Happy Women's History Month and happy birthday, Seabees. Hoorah!